question that I get all the time is, how old are you? What is good, and welcome back. And today we're gonna be doing two things on this video. First up, we're gonna be taking off the cylinder head off of my B18 C5. Now, I've personally never taken the cylinder head off of this engine before, or any B series for that matter, so I did look into it, and the whole process doesn't look that difficult. I mean, I'll be honest, I probably tackled way harder things, so I feel like I can handle this no problem. Now, as you know, the head gasket blew on this engine about 2 months ago. Could be 2 months plus, but anyway, the head gasket blew, so it's got to take off the cylinder head. And when we do that, I'm going to be sending that cylinder head off to JBR Engines, and they're going to be doing some work on that cylinder head. Plus, I've got some upgrades in the mail that are going to be delivered on Thursday. So I'm really going to take this bad scenario of the blown head gasket and do all sorts of upgrades and make this so much better. I mean, look, it snowballed to me taking out the engine, sandblasting the engine bay, and now I'm going to paint it. So, way to take, I guess, way to really take a crappy situation and trying to make it better. Now, I do have a ton of Ziploc bags. I'm going to be labeling absolutely everything because I want to keep it for reference. I'm probably never going to use it, but I want to keep it for reference, so when I put it back together, I know exactly where everything goes. Now, the second part of this video is going to be a little Q&A. You guys on my Instagram story asked me a ton of questions on a question and answer about 2+ months ago, and I have yet to answer them. There's some really great questions out there, and I feel bad that I haven't answered them, so I'm definitely going to be going over those really great questions and giving you the answers that you want to hear. Now, there are some really weird questions in there that I might touch on. But anyway, let me go take this engine out. It's gonna be kind of an ASMR type situation. I'm not gonna talk a lot during taking off the cylinder head because I really wanna stay focused because it's something I've never done before. But I'm definitely gonna film it so you guys can watch it. Hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy today's video. as you know, and as you just watched, this cylinder head is off the B18 C5. So it was a pretty easy process, to be honest with you. Big thanks to Brian over at Hasport for helping me out with the process and the procedure of getting this cylinder head off. Like I had said earlier, I have never done removed a cylinder head off a B series. It was quite simple. I learned a lot. I'm so glad I did it myself. I thought about having someone else do this head gasket, and I'm glad that I decided to do this myself because I learned so much in the process. It's actually pretty simple. I'm actually excited about putting it back together. Now that I've taken it apart, putting it back together is going to be pretty simple, and I'm really excited about that. There are some things I got to learn about, like indexing cams and things like that, but honestly, I'm excited to put this back together and then start it up for the first time. A lot of people asked about why I was keeping things like the head studs and things like that. Honestly, spare parts, they are ARP, you can reuse them, so I figured might as well keep them on hand. I don't plan on reusing anything. I plan on replacing everything, but I want to keep it for reference, and it's just a good rule of thumb to just bag everything and put it to the side so you don't lose anything. Now, we're gonna go check out this head gasket because that's the whole reason why I took the cylinder head off. This is the whole reason why this whole entire project has snowballed to such magnitude. So let's take a look at this head gasket and see if we can see anything that's like really bad. All right, so this is the head gasket here. I'm gonna move it over here so we can take a look at it. Now we do have a spot like right here. And if you come over here, that piece looks like it had gotten stuck on the cylinder wall. There is some darkness around here, so I don't know if this was the reason. I can see it was a little darker through here. I don't know if it was around this area that it was happening. I'll be honest, I'm not a professional. I don't really know. But we do know is that we had a problem and we have to fix it. Like I said, I'm gonna be sending my cylinder head off to JBR Engines. They're gonna make sure that the cylinder head is not warped, make sure it's straight and true and good to go. They're also gonna be doing some secret sauce on here. So since I figured since they're gonna have it, we might as well make it worth our time, right? Now, also, I do need to make sure that the deck on the block is straight. Did some research. I get the concept, but I've never done it myself. Now, I'm probably gonna have Brian over at Hasport come over and help me. Maybe I'll make a video about that, show you how to do it. I think it's honestly gonna be pretty simple, but since I'm doing all this, I really don't wanna have to do it again. So I'm probably gonna have him come over, show me how to do it, and make sure that we get everything good to go. So when we get that cylinder head back, we can put it back on the car and we're set. But honestly, that's gonna be really cool to learn about. I've read about it, it looks fun. So I will say I am super pumped on how good this cylinder head looks. I watched several videos of people tearing down B series, and I will just say that hardly any of them looked this nice. So that I am super pumped about because I am not the first owner of this. I think I might be like the second or third. And honestly, I mean, I've taken really good care of it, but looks like the past owners have too. All right, so that brings us to the second part of this video, which is a Q&A. About 2 to 3 months ago, I did a Q&A on my Instagram story, and I had some really great questions from you guys. I told you I would do a YouTube video with all the answers to your questions, and well, your girl didn't make the video. So today, we're gonna be going over those really great questions. I'm gonna be putting them into the 3 categories of really great questions, most asked questions, and of course, the awkward questions, which you probably all just want to know what the awkward questions are, and then some of you want to know what the answers are. So anyway, with that being said, let's get into it. Now, I kind of got it all on my phone here, and this is my method to my madness. So we're going to start with the first one, and the first question was SEMA ? And the answer is yes. I will be at SEMA this year. I'm actually gonna be working with SEMA, and I'm also gonna be doing some meet and greets at some booths like Liqui Moly and Borla. So make sure and keep an eye out here at YouTube and on my Instagram on the deets on all of that, so we can meet up and hang out and say hey. Next one was no more Hondas. Well, all I gotta say is, well, you probably don't watch my channel very much because I feel like it's majority of Hondas. There's a few Hyundais sprinkled in there, but it's mostly all still Hondas. So maybe watch more. Next question was, this is a really great one. Where did I find the OEM spray paint source that I used on my Integra? Now, I actually got it at a custom paint store here in Phoenix, but most bigger cities have a paint store that does automotive paint. You can pretty much take in anything that you probably want to match paint or get some paint made. I take in my gas store a lot of the times, or something small that I can take off the car that they can match the paint to. And pretty much any automotive like paint store can match that paint for you. And that's what I normally do. A lot of places can go ahead and take that paint and put into a spray can. It's convenient, it's easy, especially if you're only gonna do something small like a door handle or a gas door or like a mirror cap or something like that. So definitely hit up Google. See if there is a paint store in your area that does automotive paint, and I can almost guarantee you that they can make whatever you're looking for. That's how I did the spoon calipers on my Integra. I actually took the caliper in, they paint matched it and made the paint for me, and it was spot on. Next question, any suggestions for manual cars? Like, I would recommend if you're looking to find a manual car would be something like a 350Z. You can do an EK, like a Civic, an Integra. Those are great options. I personally love my 350Z, have had no real issues with it. A Civic is always a great option. Very easy to work on. You can learn a lot, even if you have to do something with like a clutch or something like that. Very easy to do in a garage or a driveway. So those are some really great options, and I would recommend those. What is your favorite car that isn't your race car? That's a really great question. I personally, if I were to pick any car, and I know this probably sounds odd, a lot of people would pick like a hypercar or a supercar or something like that. Me personally, I would love to buy a USDM Integra Type R. Not a JDM ITR, but a USDM one. They didn't make a whole lot of them. I do love the front end on that car, even though I am building a JDM and front end Integra. I've always wanted those cars. There's not very many of them. I think they only made like 3,600, or I could be wrong on the number, but something like that. But it's always been a car that I've wanted. They're like $40,000, so I probably will never get one because I don't have $40,000 to spend, or have ever had like $40,000 at one time. So probably won't be getting one, but if I had the chance, that's what I would want to get. All right, next question would be, what has been your most troubled project? And by far, it has been the Integra project. And it's not that it's hard or difficult. It's been hurry up and wait. I have to get parts. It might take me a month to get the parts or whatever. And by that point, I've already moved on to something else, which takes priority. And then I have to go back and remember where I was at with the project. And then you kind of lose steam on the project, to be honest. I really want to get back to working on it, and I think working on the EK and doing all of this engine stuff has really made kind of like, okay, I need to get back on the Integra because I'd really like to hear it run and take it for a rip. So that by far has been the most troubled project for me. It's just because it's been fabrication work and all things that I have to at least wait for or put things off, and that really just kind of stunted my progress in the build. What made you want to get into TC and Hyundai as a brand for touring cars? Now, if I look over the whole scale of cars that are in TC America, Touring Car America, there are a lot of cars out there, but you probably want to race with the one that's most reliable. The one you're going to get the most laps out of, and you're not going to have a mechanical and you can't finish the race. And I'd have to say the Hyundai Elantra N TC car is by far that car in the paddock, and that's why I wanted to race with them. I would get the most seat time, not having like everybody's gonna have a mechanical, but they're such a reliable race car that's why I decided to go the Hyundai route. And honestly, I've been absolutely pumped racing them. They've been so much fun. I've learned so much as a driver. And if you're looking to do any kind of like touring car racing, I would definitely look in the Hyundai direction because they are absolutely killing it in the motorsports scene, whether from touring cars to rally. I mean, you name it, they are just absolutely killing it out there. And that's because they make a good product. So that's why I picked Hyundai. How do you make everything look so easy? Well, first off, when I start a project, I try to do a lot of research before starting the project and getting a game plan. Figuring out what tools I need, what parts I need, what am I going to be doing, how I'm going to be doing this. And once you formulate a game plan on what you're doing, the job or project or task you're doing suddenly gets a lot simpler because you're not just going into it blind. You kind of have an idea what tools or what parts you need, and that really does make things a whole lot simpler. And it probably looks like it's a whole lot easier, but just putting in that little extra work really makes the difference when you're trying to get something done. Let's see here, next question. This is a really great one. Why did I pick the number 780, and is there any particular meaning? Now, the reason why I run 780 on my race car, and I pretty much just translate it over to any other car that I'm driving on track that needs a number, is because, well, this is kind of my identity now. But I started working with Borla Exhaust back in 2019, and they wanted me to pick a number that had to do with 1978. Now 78 was taken, so I couldn't do that, but so I picked 780, and that is because Borla Exhaust was founded in 1978. And I think that was a really cool idea, for that's the number they wanted me to choose, because I think that's really awesome. It's part of their heritage, and they've been a very big supporter of my racing career since 2019, when I first tried my first professional race in a professional series. So I think it's that number is very dear to me because they've helped me out a lot, and that's why. Here we go. K series or B series? That question gets asked all the time. Now, honestly, I love a K series. I have an HN Civic with a K series and I absolutely love it, but can't discount a good B series. They are so much fun on track, and I can attest the people actually drive being like, okay is the way, and then going out and having a few laps in my B series EK, and they are like, yep, B series is a lot of fun. So honestly, I can't pick one or the other because they're kind of like apples and oranges to me at this point, because they are not the same. But you can't discredit a fun B series. So if you're looking for a lot of power, absolutely, K is the way. But if you're looking for a fun, lightweight track warrior for the weekends, B is for me. Somebody asked, will I ever do Formula Drift? Well, that would be really cool, but I'd have to be really good at drifting, which I am not. I'm starting to get it. I have a 350Z that I like to do track days, and it's like a track/drift setup, and it's a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot about drifting. I am not great at drifting. I'm starting to like really get the hang of it and getting sideways and letting the rear end come around. But I still have those road course racing, skills in my head, and like letting the wheels slide. Very difficult for me to, unwind those things of, driving on the racetrack and doing grip level stuff. So I am having a lot of fun. I've learned a lot about car control by going out and doing some drift events. I have a lot to learn, and I don't think I'm anywhere qualified to do Formula Drift. But I feel that's really cool that you think that I should, or you think that I might. So thank you for the vote of confidence. All right, so we're gonna be moving on to some other questions. One is that I get frequently asked questions is, can I work with you? And I get this question a lot, and I've gotten it a lot, and I also get a lot of resumes. Unfortunately, this is a one-man show, or one-woman show, I should say. I don't have any money to pay anyone, and unfortunately, it's only gonna be me. I enjoy working alone. I enjoy doing my stuff alone. And unfortunately, I am not hiring anybody at this moment. Thank you. Do you think that I would be a good employer? But there are no vacancies at the moment. I'll let you know though, if there are. Another frequently asked question is the location of my shop. That's information for me to know and for you not to know. Another question that I get all the time is how old are you? That is another frequently asked question, and my response to that is old enough to party. That I get this a lot. That they say that I look like Bernadette from the Big Bang Theory, and have I ever been told that? You are the 1 millionth person to tell me that. But she's cute, so I'm gonna take it as a compliment, man. This is good, this is good. Can you guys show if I can do a car/shop tour? I do need to do another one of those. I haven't done one in a while. It was like right when I moved into the shop, and a lot has changed. I've put a lot of stuff in here. I've got new cars. So I definitely need to do that. And yes, that is on the list. Any plans for me to do something like GT3 or prototypes? I do get questions asked that a lot if I want to do anything higher than touring cars. And absolutely, I would love to. The big answer to that is I don't have the money. Racing isn't free. That is a big misconception that everybody thinks that I get to race for free, and that is absolutely not true. Racing is insanely expensive. To do a GT3 program with either IMSA or SRO or any kind of professional racing, you're looking at $1 million plus on the low end. Like, that's minimum. Your girl doesn't have any money like that. So we stick to touring cars where it is more attainable, and it's also very expensive, let's be honest. But that I have a lot of great partners, sponsors that help me get into the race car so I can race at 7 weekends a year across the country, which I am very grateful I get to do that. But yeah, I would love to do GT3s or prototypes, but it's just not in the budget. Next question, what is my favorite burger joint in Arizona? My favorite burger place is Bad Jimmy's. They have excellent burger, they have excellent fries, they have good cocktails, and they even have ice cream. So what's not to love? And it's smash burgers. They're fantastic. So downtown Phoenix, you're looking for a good burger, Bad Jimmy's, hit them up. You can even tell them I sent you because, yeah. A really question that gets asked a lot is, and it's not even a question, it's more of like a statement, it's more Integra content. Noted, we're working on that. All right, so now we're gonna be moving into some of the more, wait. I forgot one of the most requested question, and it's, how do I get into racing? I've been asked that 1 million times. Actually, it probably could be more than that at this point. And the short answer, because I could be here and talk for 30 minutes on how I got into racing, was I signed up for a track day. I'd never been to a racetrack at all at that point in my life. I didn't know what I was doing, honestly, when I got there, but I had a really great time. And people, if you're looking to get into racing, if you're looking to get into track days, if you're looking to get into anything, even spirited driving, sign up for your track day. There's probably an SCCA, there's probably a NASA chapter close to you, or even just a track day group that probably offers instructions for new drivers. Sign up. That's your biggest hurdle, is signing up. A lot of people complain that they didn't get into it because they never signed up and they were scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You're not going to be going out there super fast anyway on your first track day, because you're probably going to have some reservations and you're going to want to be a little timid on the racetrack. But you're going to have fun, and I'm sure you'll have an instructor with you who will teach you the lines and braking zones and apexes and all of those things about driving on a racetrack, and have fun. You don't need to mod your car. Your car needs to be safe. So you have like brake pads and good tires and good fluids and things like that, but you don't need to mod your car to go out for your first track day. That's what I did. I took my daily driver, I went out for a track day, I had an absolute blast, I signed up for several more, and I realized that I really, really liked that. I ended up saving my pennies and buying a Subaru, turned it into a race car, started doing time attack, got my time attack license, went and got my competition license, and one day somebody asked me, would you like to go try a professional racing series? And I said, I don't even know what that is, but absolutely, I'm driving a car, I'm definitely interested. They told me it was gonna be a lot of money. I went and found the sponsors. It took a lot of work. None of this is simple. Nobody opens the door and says you get to do this now. It takes a lot of work. So if you're dedicated and you put in the time, try to find the sponsors, put in the work to get there, it'll happen for you. And that's it. It's not a simple process. A lot of people are asking for think it's going to be like, you do this, this, and this, and you're gonna be driving a professional series. If you want it to be that easy, you gotta have a ton of money so you can just walk in. If you got a lot of money, you can go pay for a seat and be driving tomorrow. But people like myself, and maybe y'all, we need help. And to get help, you gotta work at it. You gotta put yourself on social media, work hard to find the partners and let them know and how you're gonna be a return on their investment, and then signing up for the series, and then finding, that driver mod, track days, getting on the simulator, working on your skills, all of that. So it is a lot of work. It's definitely doable, and it's definitely worth the hard work. So I don't know if that answered the question, but I think that did. So anyway, now we're gonna get on to the awkward questions because these are the best, let's be honest. Oh, one more word before we get to the awkward questions. Somebody asked me if I have plans for a muscle car, and that is yes. One day I'm gonna buy a Nova. That's my next goal, buying a Nova. So I'm gonna have a fleet of Hondas. I'm gonna have one 350Z and then a muscle car. And I think the real reason is I wanna put it all together and I wanna do a massive burnout in this Nova. All right, awkward questions and most asked question. That's kind of a little bit of a both. Do you have an OnlyFans? And that's no. I mean, I've probably been asked that a ton of times. And the answer is no. I don't have any bad thoughts. If anybody has an OnlyFans, go them. Myself, no. Somebody in professional racing, I try to stay away from that. I don't want young girls to think that that is a way to get into racing. I got into racing and professional racing without doing that. And if I can find a way to do it, so can they. And I don't want them to think that getting an OnlyFans is a path for the only way they can do it. Now, I don't have anything bad against anybody who does. Teach their own. And I don't want to put that image out there for young, impressionable minds. Do you have pretty feet? What? Here we go. Are you single, dear? And if you are single, would you give me the chance to conquer your beautiful heart? Here we go. This is a real winner. If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? I get lots of marriage proposals, which I think is odd. You don't even know me. It's weird. Now I have a lot of questions of you asking me if you could take me out on a date. Now I'm gonna say is that looking at your profile, it looks like she's probably your girlfriend or your wife. Now I'm gonna go on a limb, but I'm gonna think that she probably doesn't want you asking me questions like that. So keep that in mind. I really appreciate all the really good questions. They were really great. And man, we have 22 minutes of questions. So thanks guys. I'll probably do this again and I'll probably be better at answering them next time. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me taking off the cylinder head and then also answering your questions. The next video, I think we're gonna be doing a motor mount video, going over to Hasport and seeing how they make motor mounts. That might be the next one. I'm not really sure yet, but anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.